fact that the ballots under the Secretary of State's rules can be counted even if they are not postmarked is both outrageous and also a violation of the United States Constitution, which gives only the legislature or Congress the right to set those time, place, and manner rules. So by changing that arbitrarily and then having that endorsed by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, that is really one of the things that we expect to go back to the courts on in that state. But, hopefully as we continue counting there and we continue being aggressive and insisting on our rights, we will actually win the raw count, and maybe we will not need to go back into the courts. But that is a battleground. We have lawyers, including we're now getting lawyers, Pennsylvania lawyers also, into those rooms where they're allowed legally to observe. In other areas that we're talking about, some of these contested races in Detroit, the polling officials are actually putting up cardboard over the windows to make it impossible physically for observers to see what is happening in the counting room. So nobody can object to a signature mismatch, to a lack of a postmark. And even in the case of a voter being honest and dropping it in the mail, it is the case around the country that the United States Postal Service often does not frank or postmark bulk mail. So in California, we have the same issue where the ballots are prepaid by the state, vote by mail ballots. And so it is quite possible for many of them to not be franked.
So what is the likely outcome of the lawsuits and the assertion of your rights under the law, under the Constitution? And why in God's name weren't those rights asserted in anticipation of what we are witnessing right now?
Well, some of them have been asserted throughout the year, Lou. There has been prior litigation. So I don't want anyone to come away with the impression that the RNC or Republicans or the state parties sat on their hands and waited. A lot of these things were litigated in advance. We have filed lawsuits around the country all year. We got some things changed and some things we didn't. Unfortunately, the Pennsylvania situation happened during the time between Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death and the seating of Barrett. Very narrow time when it was a 4-4 ruling, and Justice Roberts voted the wrong way. Now, if that case goes back up, we might have a different outcome.
What a shock. What a shock.
Yeah.
Are you confident that we're going to see this redressed, that you'll prevail in court, and that the president will be, his lawsuits will be productive?
Well, yes, I'm confident that some of these things will resolve without a lawsuit, and the narrow ones that may require it, we are going to very aggressively pursue them all the way. So hopefully we will win soon.
Right.
We are actually projecting by the end of the week, hopefully, to be able to finalize the 2 more states that we need.
Great. Harmett Dhillon, doing a great job in tough circumstances. Harmett Dhillon. Up next, more on the Radical Dems' efforts to steal the presidency from one Donald Trump. Be sure to go to LouDiveShop.com. My new book, The Trump Century, available now at the LouDiveShop.com. Stay with us. We're coming right back. You'll learn how to steal an election next.